Hello there. Welcome to another episode on Before You Say I Do series, coming to you courtesy Mother's Love in conjunction with Pasture Counseling Center. My name is Kemi, TONY-AKINWUNMI. This is Before You Say I Do series, the impact on the African child. So in this episode, we'll be looking at conflict management in relationship. Conflicts are inevitable. In every relationship, there will be some misunderstanding, either before marriage or even in a marital relationship. Even amongst your siblings, among colleagues, among neighbors, sometimes we have misunderstanding. And misunderstanding is a part of life. We all at some point feel offended by what people do to us. But if you're in a relationship looking towards marriage and you keep having conflict in your relationship, it doesn't mean your relationship is bad. It simply means there are some things the both of you are not doing right. And this can be easily handled either through sitting down to talk about it, having a conversation, deep communication, or seeking help from a trusted friend or a professional counselor. So conflict would always come in relationship. But when conflicts come and one person is not willing to talk about it, then there is danger looming. So for instance, you have a relationship with a young man or a young woman, and anytime there are misunderstanding or disagreement about a certain issue, or there are conflicts in the relationship, one person is not willing to talk about it, that relationship might not last. So if that's a pattern in your relationship, it needs to be addressed. If there are issues, the two of you, the two people involved in that relationship, either before marriage or in marriage, must be willing to reach an agreement, must be willing to come to the table to bear their minds, to talk about whatever grievances they have about the other person. So another sign to look out for in your relationship when conflict happens. Once conflict happens, you find that somehow maybe the guy or the lady just goes off for the next maybe 1 week, 2 weeks. We have even seen some go off for a month. You have a relationship with your partner. Yes, you must talk about it. But when it becomes a pattern that when there is an issue between the two of you, that person goes numb for the next 1 month, that is a danger sign. That's a red flag there. Because if that person sees that relationship as something of worth and of value, they want to quickly resolve the differences you have with them. So if you're in a love relationship or a romantic relationship with someone, that person doesn't want to keep conflict with you for a long time. Usually they are very open to resolve conflict as soon as it arises. So if you see that pattern in your relationship, that this young man or this young woman goes off for like a week, 2 weeks, or a month in your relationship, you may want to address that. Another sign is when someone blows out issues out of proportion. Who talks about irrelevant things, who doesn't want to address the core of the issue at hand. So it's very important that you note that, and you also are not such a person. When issue arise in your relationship, be available to talk about it. Be available to address it. Another thing you must look out for when you have conflict in your relationship is to address issue and not attack the ego or the personality of the person you have a relationship with. So for instance, you have a disagreement about the purchase of a thing. That is what should be the talk when you are having that discussion. Not talking about the personality of your friend or your partner or even your spouse. Address issues and do not attack the personality of your friend. Conflict management in relationship is very, very critical. If you know how to manage conflict, your relationship can be very endearing and healthy. But when conflicts are not properly managed, you find out that people run out of relationships and then they end up from one relationship to another. But if you have this understanding that when issues happen, it is normal. It is not peculiar to you or your partner or your relationship or marriage alone. Every relationship, like I said earlier, goes through different, series of misunderstanding, conflict, crisis, and conflict. But when it happens, communication, conversation. And when conflicts happen, you must also remember that it is very, very good that you learn to apologize. We have seen married couples who find it very difficult to say the magic word, I am sorry, I won't do it again. I'm going to make amends and all of that. Those words are very powerful and they can really help you in building and cementing the love relationship or even, marital relationship or even between siblings or anyone you have a relationship with. Learn to always say that you are sorry. Apologize when you are wrong. Sometimes even when you are right. To keep up your relationship, you must learn to say that you are sorry. So I hope that this has also been helpful to you this evening in your relationship or in your marriage. Conflict will come, but they can be better managed when you do some of the things I've mentioned. Don't blow it out of proportion. Talk about it, say you are sorry, address the issue, and do not attack your partner. I wish you all the very best. The future of the African child is the future of Africa. What are we doing to secure our future? I'll see you next week.